Hey Kurt, this is Richard Wilson from Mad Shelley Films, and we have a message for you.
This is Mad Shelley Films, and you're listening to Inspirado Projecto Radio.
I just had this idea about someone who sends a message in a bottle long ago. Maybe they're while they're on a vacation or something. Maybe they're out in Oahu. Perhaps they throw it into a lake while they're visiting their uncle. And the kid doesn't know it's just a lake. He throws a message in a bottle. And it's like 50 years later. He's living in a completely different town. He wakes up. It's dark. Stumbles into the bathroom. He's got to urinate like a banshee. Starts urinating. And what? What the hell is that? That sound? He opens up the toilet. What the hell? There's a message in a bottle. In his toilet. And we could think of it as it's a message that he gets from his past self. One would think that's what would be the answer. However, what if it's a message in reply to the message that he sent in the message in the bottle long ago? Hello, I got your message. To whom it may concern. Oh no, because I'm sure he probably would put his name, right? Harold. So, main point is, he wakes up, looks in his toilet, there's a message in a bottle. Oh, what it would be interesting if it was a ship in a bottle with a message inside of the ship. Yeah, the message could be inside of the ship. There's a message in there. Maybe the only way you could get that message is you got to break that bottle. You got to break it. You got to break that bottle. You got to crack open the ship. Who cares how old it is? There's something in there. Wow. Wow. You know, this could go in so many directions. Because who built the ship? Who put the message in the ship? Who put the ship in the bottle? Who wrote the message? Whose parchment was that? Was it, what kind of, is it calligraphy? Is it codes? Is it typed? Is it branded on? Is it skin? Is it a parchment of skin? It's branded on? Is it? Oh, here's one. You know how you can write in lemon, and then if you run like a toothpick, you got lemon juice, and then you write down a message on a piece of paper. If you hold that paper over a candle, it will burn. It'll make it visible. There are also, of course, the other sort of coded messages where it's you just write over like stationery, like in Big Lebowski. How people do this with graves all the time. They'll put the paper up there. They have the chalk, and then they got the grave. Jim Morrison. I think they were doing that for Jim Morrison for a while. I think they do that with Andy Kaufman's grave. So maybe it's one of those kinds of messages inside of the ship. It could be a tiny scroll kind of thing, and then it's got maybe the little wax seal on there, maybe a ribbon. You know what I'd really like to get a hold of is one of those machines. What was it? It's like a horoscope machine. I think it's a horoscope machine. And you get those little horoscopes. Oh, that's what I was looking for. I was looking for those tiny horoscopes. I was going to use them like in gift bags or something. Someone out there has got to have them. If you know of any good places where, Zoltar. I'm in the market for getting a Zoltar. And what I imagine would be funny is if we could record our own voice for Zoltar. Different fortunes, we write different fortunes. They're all yacht rock fortunes. And instead of his turban, he's wearing a yacht rock hat. He looks like one of us, basically. But those eyes, we don't cover up the eyes. He's got the hat. Instead of a mystic, he's the yacht rock mystic. So he's got a blue, sparkly cape instead of gold. How about that? Blue, sparkly cape. Then he's got his yacht hat. And he's still got that kick-ass mustache. Same face, same dude. Possibly different voice, or even the same voice. We got to find out if that voiceover artist, wouldn't that be great? Find him, and he does yacht rock ones. Always make sure to wear your life preserver while out on the ocean. Remember, you are precious cargo. Here's your fortune. There's a lady screaming in my apartment right now. Jeez, lady, come on, lady. I'm trying to do a podcast here, okay? You know, it's just me and the people here. Whoever's here listening. Come on, lady. I tried to save this rose. It was given to me by Stephanie. You must hear me. You're moving right now. You just moved towards me. That's astounding. Of course you did. Oh my gosh. Each time I'm looking at this rose and I'm imagining it moving, it's moving. It's telling me that it's just changed shape, shifted. Rather than the essence being in the flower, the essence is in everything. It's transferred to everything around the flower, around everywhere. I tried to save this rose. She gave it to me to give to Jenny. Used ozonated water. Placed it in there. I placed it outside. Figured if I put it in the sun, this rose would be pretty happy. My Aunt Nancy, she is a phenomenal horticulturist, if I can use that word. Botanist. I put them in the same family. Agriculturist. They're all part of the same family. Just little hints of differences there, aren't they? What do you know about these subjects, Kurt? It's the vibe I'm getting. It all comes down to plants. It all comes down to nurturing this. Aunt Nancy, she would take these plants that were on the verge of death, and she, just like people, just like my mom, just like our family, my grandpa, taking in animals and nursing them back to life, helping them out. My Aunt Nancy would do that with flowers. She knew so much about so many different flowers. Always with flowers around. Nature. Aunt Nancy is the mother nature. Mother nurture, mother nature. Natural, mother natural. Mother nurtural. Nuturial. Whenever we happen to have, there was this plant, we couldn't seem to really, I remember growing up in this thing, it started just looking bad, you know? It started looking like it was rotting. Not rotting, what's the word I'm thinking about? Wilting. Thank you, universe. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, universe. It started wilting. And so we gave it to Aunt Nancy, and she brought it back to life. Who knows what she did? It was probably all the talking, all the great music, all the, care and comfort. How does that phrase go? If you're thinking about having kids, first take care of a plant. Take care of a flower, because it's living. And then go to an animal. If you can handle that, then go for a kid. The antenna tree out here, I have neglected. The antenna tree is still growing strong. Just as tall as ever. The antenna tree. Egads. Well, listen, we're going to talk more later. I'm going to go in and eat some tacos, vegan tacos, cooked by my dear sister, Jennifer Shendinen. Here's a thought. Do you initiate or do you imitate? I just realized that I should probably be recording this mission. Let's see if this will work concurrently with Waze. I think we did this earlier. Might have to wait till we're out of the garage. So, I'm on my way up to KCHUNG. As you may remember me talking earlier, if you listened to the earlier podcast with Craig Spivek, I believe I mentioned in there that we couldn't get the file to me. For some reason, the internet went out right at the end of our show. We couldn't get the file out to me. So, I made a vow to come back tonight and bring a hard drive, a thumb drive, as they call it. Let's see if we get some classical music. What about that? Like 88.1 or something? Is it 88.1? Oh, all right, folks. Walk slowly. Oh, come on, people. I'm trying not to hit you, okay? I'm trying not to hit you. It's not my modus operandi. You know what? I don't do a William Burroughs impression often enough. I forget that I can do William Burroughs. Let's try it. Hold on. In 1955, I was with Jack Kerouac. Jack but Jack Kerouac. In 1952, I was with Jack Kerouac and Allen Ginsberg. I think I need to work on it. And Allen Ginsberg. I need to figure out his certain intonation. He's got a certain one. Oh, I figured out someone earlier. I was so excited. How does this not have service, man? Hey, man. My cellular device here says I don't have any service, man. How's that even possible? All right, so we're going to pull over to something here, okay? This is crazy, okay? We're gonna pull over to the side of the road here. And we're gonna figure this out. Oh, that's interesting. I just pulled up behind a Jeep here, and they got a sticker that says Mr. Toad's Wild Ride. Not a sticker, but it's a license plate thing. Mr. Toad's Wild Ride, and the actual license plate says Toad, Toad, RYD. How crazy is that? Toad Ride. At the Toad Ride, bam. All right. There we go. Now we're back on schedule. How interesting. I'm William Burroughs. And I know Jack Kerouac and Allen Ginsberg. We are the Beat Generation. There you go. And right now, we're trying to find the address of KCHUNG. Here we go. That's what we need, that's what we like, that's what we're gonna do. Yeah, that's what we need, that's what we like, that's what we're gonna do. That's what we need, that's what we like, that's what we're gonna do. That's what we need, that's what we like, that's what we're gonna do. If you're familiar with the Boingo album, you might have just noticed that I took some I would say some singing choices from that album. I was listening. How do I make this lady not talk? Can you hear this lady talking out here, man? I suppose I could turn the volume all the way up. Oh gosh. Aye. Come on, lady. Come on. Blowing out their eardrums. Come on. I know what I'll do. I don't know. Okay, you know what? Okay, here, this is what we're going to do. Bam. No volume. I'm just going to have to look at my phone even though I don't want to do. I guess I'm just going to have to look at my phone. But I don't want to. Bam. I'm not gonna listen to my phone. I'm gonna have to look at it. It's a tricky business being a one-man band these days. It's a tricky business. It's a tricky business. You got all the green light in the world that you can handle right now. Let's utilize it. Let's squeeze it, man. Squeeze that lemon, man. Yikes. You did not take full advantage of that juicy surprise, man. That was a green light, and then it was a yellow light. If you worked for my lime company, you would be fired. You did not squeeze that lime. You did not squeeze that lemon. You didn't even squeeze the tomato. Come on now. You didn't even squeeze a tamara. What's the matter? What's the matter? You didn't even squeeze a tamara. Oh, what's the matter? So I rarely ever do Don Corleone, but we're going to try.
How are you? How you doing? This is Don Corleone. Some of you might know me as Marlon Brando.
No, is that it?
I'm Don Corleone. How you doing? They know me as Don Corleone. Hello.
Oh, that's more like, what's his name? Scarface or something.
Hello. How you doing?
Let's see.
Oh, here it is. He's like this. He's like, I could have been a contender. I could have been a contender. You know? My brother, he was a boxer. I got a job working for the hot dog shack. I could have been a contender. I got another job working for the hamburger shack. I could have been a contender. After that, I got a job swabbing a dicks down there by the port. I could have been a contender. I tell you, life is tough, okay? I tell you, life is tough. I could have been a contender.
And see, then that kind of sounds like Desi Arnaz.
Hey, Lucy, where's Fred? Hey, Lucy, where's Fred? Fred. Hey, Lucy, where's Fred? Hey, Fred, where's Ethel?
Oh, man. I might have to have a drink of water here.
Hey, Lucy, I'm home. Hey, Lucy. How you doing, Lucy? What are you doing? Lucy, what are you doing? You're wearing a fake nose, Lucy. Don't you know I have the manager of Capitol Records coming by? Yes, he coming for dinner. And you're wearing the fake nose, Lucy. Lucy, you're wearing the fake nose again. Lucy, look at all of the chocolates. Lucy, I love chocolates. But my God, Lucy, this is too many chocolates. I'm gonna have to make a chocolate song. All because of you, Lucy. A song about the chocolates. Too many chocolates. Rock sanda shashinge fango. Too many chocolates. Hello, see.
No, it's more.
Hello, see.
So I realize I don't have to stretch. I don't have to, like, push it. 2.7 miles, and then we'll be where we will want to be ultimately at KCHUNG Studios. That's where we're trying to go right now. KCHUNG Studios. That's where. That's where. No, that's where. That's where. That's where. No, that's where. That's where, that's where we want to go and we need to be safely. How you doing? This is Willie Nelson. Hi, y'all. This is your pal, Willie Nelson, America's favorite hippie. Hello, everybody. This is Willie Nelson. You know, I once ran into a burning building. All of my best weed was in there, and so was my favorite guitar, Trigger. I will do anything for that guitar. So what I did was, my barn was burning down with all my good weed in it. So I just took as much as I could. I wrapped it up in flame retardant baggies. I hauled them out of there, and I had Triggers slung over my shoulder. Hey, did I ever tell you about that nice little story where I smoked a marijuana cigarette on the White House ceiling? Did I ever mention that? Wait, did I ever mention that? my name is Willie Nelson. Hi, my name is Willie Nelson. Hello there, my name is Willie Nelson. Me and Dolly Parton may or may not have had quite a lot of relationships through the years. I know her biblically, and she knows me biblically. Heck, in Corinthians 5:9, it says, lay down with your neighbor. And Dolly was my neighbor at one time. So I gone get her done. I laid down with my neighbor. And we wrote a beautiful song about it. I'll tell you right now, we wrote an extraordinary song. And that there is the song that I sang on the White House ceiling. That time I snuckered away to smoke a joint, to smoke a marijuana cigarette, a cannabis cigarette on the White House ceiling. On the White House ceiling. So here's my Jimmy Carter. I made this one up when I was a little kid. I was a tiny kid. This was my first joke ever. This was my first joke. See, yeah, it's a visual thing. Because, Jimmy Carter, he had those big teeth. He's still around, I think. He's got the big teeth. Big teeth. Smile. I guess where it goes real big. A very large smile. So what you do is you take your finger and you stretch open your lips. So you got big teeth. So your lips are like way up there. So your finger, it's like a kickstand. You're going, opening it up, so to speak. So the bottom lip is stretched open, and then the top is stretched open. So you're like, hi, nice to meet you. My name is Jimmy Carter. Do you like peanuts? I like peanuts. And that was because I knew way back then that Jimmy Carter had something to do with peanuts, but I didn't know what that was. And so that always intrigued me. And that was about that was and pretty much is the extent of my knowledge about Jimmy Carter. Just that he had a big smile, he spoke in an accent, and he had something to do with peanuts. Do you do any impressions? I don't care if it's your crazy neighbor Barney. Okay, let's say you got a crazy neighbor Barney. Do an impression of that guy. What does he sound like? What does he talk about? Embody that character. That's the fun part about impressions is sometimes you find yourself utilizing phrases or discoveries or epiphanies about this character while you're doing it, while you're just doing it. So imagine, let's say, if you do a really good impression of Crispin Glover, okay? And you think, oh my gosh, could you imagine Crispin Glover, let's say gardening. Let's say if he was a gardener. Good afternoon, this is Crispin Glover. You might recognize me as the father from Back to the Future. I played Marty McFly. You might remember my award-winning dialogue, which is continually regurgitated through the years. And it sounds like this. Get your damn hands off her! That is my most quoted quote from all of the large selections of characters I have done through the years. I once dressed up as a character who was a guest on David Letterman, and my character was dropping acid, and Andy Kaufman is one of my favorite actors, and so I decided I would pretend to be this character on his show. And that is the spirit I use whenever I'm planting materials in my garden. For instance, when I'm planting tomatoes, I do my research and I figure out what is the best nutritional value for a tomato. So I go out and I find the correct soil. Whether perhaps it's tar, perhaps it's a satchel of diamonds. I go out there into the world and I give that to the particular vegetable or even plant, sometimes a fruit or an herb, and I will plant it in that nutritious pot. Sometimes I don't use sand or soil or even seashells for that matter. Sometimes I'll just put inside the planter, I'll just plant it full of other seeds, and then I see how those seeds grow from the other seeds, and that's how I start my hybrids. Some call me, my close friends call me Dr. Moreau, which I think is apropos, because I'm a very large proponent of Marlon Brando. Thank you, Crispin Glover. You know, some people want to know, are you brothers of Danny Glover? That is one of the craziest jokes that I've had to endure for the past 40 years or such. I know I give the impression that I'm a vampire, which I might be. I'm not ruling that out. However, in my many years on this planet, this earthling planet, lots of various earthlings have asked me, are you related to Danny Glover? And I have to say, I don't know who my father is. So, that is quite a possibility. And the next question is Corey Glover your brother? That's another strong possibility. You never know in this day and age. Why rule out one thing when you can rule in another thing? That's my philosophy. By the way, catch my big show sometime out in the near future. I grab my projector screen and I put crazy movies up there. You can also find my ad hoc books, one called Rat Catching and one called What is Wrong or something like that. I've got quite a few books out there, so I'm not quite certain what some of the names are, as one could imagine. Thank you so much, Christian, for stopping. Thank you very much for taking me out of the glove compartment. Thank you for allowing me to stretch. All right, we'll see you. We'll see you later. Goodbye. Wow, that was a fast interview, or was it an interview? He showed up. We said hi. We said hello. We exchanged niceties. He exchanged a lot of niceties. I listened. I like to consider myself a good listener. I will not. Where are we? I will not claim to be the world's best listener. However, I like to, do my due diligence in opening up the ears. Sometimes I get questions in the middle of the questions that I'll ask a question, they're in the middle of answering it, and then bam, I got another question. But you got to let them pontificate. You got to let them, get into the groove, because there's a lot of rich wisdom in there. Now, also, when you got this excitement of wanting to have them answer a question, that is, I need to start, I think, writing some of this stuff down, so I got it right there, so I can ask it. And I don't have to try to force it out or try to, like, oh gosh, hurry up, just answer the other question already so I can ask this one. So there isn't that idea. And on top of that, I'm not feeling impatient, and I can let them answer their question easily, effortlessly, however they want. And then I ask the other question. Unless, of course, the answer to the last question I just asked, unless that, of course, then gives me another question. So, here we go. We're getting closer. We're going to see if there are any people in the studio. Because if not, what I'd like to do is an impromptu radio show. I think it would be fun. I think that would be gobs and gobs of fun. I think that would be gobs and gobs of fun. Maybe, yeah. Okay, so I'll put out a little ad, if you will. Advert. I'll put out the advert onto my Instagram. I'll put out the advert onto my Instagram. That will be that advert will go onto Instagram if there's no other DJ going on in here. Who knows? We could go Facebook Live. I mean, not Facebook Live, Instagram. I think it saves it. Does it? I don't know. However, how cool would that be if someone was watching and they wanted to join in the conversation? I could record it. I had a real great conversation earlier with the Wizard of L.A. This would be a very fun thing to test out. So we're going to see what happens here. They haven't closed any gates here to the KCHUNG Castle. KCHUNG! Did I tell you guys I recently saw in the latest Mad Magazine a parody? They're doing a parody of Quentin Tarantino's movie Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. And there's a part in there where the cowboys, something happens. I don't want to give it away. But something happens, and then it says KCHUNG. And I thought that was pretty cool and notable. We are going up the steps now. I just got some new gum. Pineapple gum. I think that's what I was chewing earlier, I think. Feeling more tropical lately. More, yachtly. I wonder if there's a band. I was just going to say, TBH, I have to be honest with you. Oh, I can shut that off. TBH, to be honest. Let's see. Let's see who's here. Whoa. Wow, okay, no one's in here. All right, here we go. All right, so we're up here in the KCHUNG Studios. It's got a really cool vibe in here. There's a black light in here. Can you hear the fans? Wow. Let me turn this light on. Wow. I think I'm gonna try to go Facebook Live just for kicks. We'll see what happens. I'm pretty sure if I'm doing this correctly. Yeah, I think it is. We're on the air right now. Okay. You and I are on the air. We're on KCHUNG. Yeah, we're on KCHUNG at 16:30 a.m. It's so funny. I've been trying to get you. I've been thinking, we got to get you on the air. So, heck, this is the best time as any. You called right at this time. The time right now, it's 8:45 p.m. here. What date is this, would you say?
Today is like around the 19th or the 20th.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's right. It's in the 19th. That's right. So I came to KCHUNG Studios because I left the file in there from earlier today where I had Craig Spivek and Phil Donlon and Connor McCrory. All these different people were on there today, and I tried to send myself the file, but for some reason the internet went out here. So what I did was I ended up just, I thought, well, what the heck, I'll come out here and see if I can actually get that file, Oh, I think someone's coming in for their late shift. Hey, man, are you coming in for your late shift? Do you have your show tonight? I just came in to pick up an old file, and I thought, well, I was here, I might as well broadcast a little bit, but I'm gonna shut it down right now. What's your name? George, nice to meet you, man. What time does your show begin? 9 o'clock. Oh, 9 o'clock. Cool. So,
it must be so cool what you're doing.
Oh, it's so much fun just to think that that this place exists and this kind of stuff can happen. It's just so exciting, man. I'm just so honored to be a part of this kind of thing. So, Greg, are there any bits of wisdom that you can say before I hang up here on Inspirado Projecto?
No, I'm just so glad I got to talk to you, man, and I'm glad everything's going well with you. You've always been a great guy, great actor, and now you're in the radio business, so that's great, man. I always wanted to be a broadcaster. I went out of the Army. I went to school at broadcasting.
Oh, my God.
I just never pursued it. I just had to work and do other things, but it seems like a fun job, though. Well,
how cool is that? Here's your first radio gig. We gotta get you in the studio. You'll be on the studio sometime. All right. Well, listen, man. I'm gonna say goodbye to you, and you take care. And I gotta send off my files.
All right. Love you, brother.
All right. Love you too, man. Take care.
All right.
Bye.
Ciao.
Wait. Who did it as an experiment?
Luke Fishbeck and Solomon Bothwell. Solomon knew how to put together an AM transmitter, and he did it with a kit and helped Luke do it, and then they set it up over on Chungking Road and did a broadcast for an art opening during art days or whatever. There was like a Chinatown art walk.
So it's just kind of an experiment. Just go, hey, let's just see if we could do this for this thing.
Yeah, they just did it. Hey, let's just broadcast the AM radio. Just make an AM radio signal and put a boombox out and do music or whatever. And then afterwards, he had an AM transmitter just at his disposal, so he put it in his studio, and just organically, people were like, "Oh, you guys have a radio station? I want a show." And they're like, "Oh." They're like, "Oh, okay." And then it started with a few people, and then it seemed like it was a good time, so they reached out to some more, and then a couple of us joined and started doing it, and it kind of blossomed from there. And then we moved. When it got too many people, and they didn't want people in their art studio all the time. They moved it to another location, and then and the group that was doing it started making radio programs all the time.
Incredible.
And then we got to a point where we were losing our space again, and then we're like, well, we need to move again. And we need to figure something out. So, and no one had ever knew anybody who was doing shows. Everyone knew each other, but didn't know. So the first time everyone who was doing shows got together in a room, it was kind of weird. And everyone's like, well, what do we do? And I was like, we just need to find a place and just do this. And so we moved it here. We've been here for like 6 years or something like that.
It's a phenomenal spot. Anytime I got guests here, they just love this. It's so.
Yeah,
it's like this secret little hidden area.
They built it out, you know. There's these walls, and none of this was here.
Oh my God! Really?
Yeah, it was all built out.
That's incredible.
So then, yeah, that's kind of how it happened.
Wow, man, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Alright, so it's sent off.
So a lot of the people who started, there's like maybe 3 or 4 people who were from the beginning that are still doing it.
So there are not many people remain from that time?
No, not at all. You know, like everyone said, everyone knew it was, it's not going to be a forever thing.
Well, but there's so much potential here, and it's so like I cannot tell you how much this has fulfilled my dreams of wanting to be on the radio. And the fact that this exists, it's just so cool. And you guys being the pioneers of this whole thing and offering people like me, people that you don't even know, to be able to come in and be a part of this whole thing, man, it's just so cool. It's enabled me to meet so many people just from being on the subway, just from being on the trains. I'll invite people to be in my show, and I've met a lot of great friends that way. And it's all thanks to you guys helping out with this. Like, you've helped enable this wonderful dream to occur.
That's cool. Yeah, I mean, it's true community radio, which is unique. Because even regular community radios are kind of not this open, rules and whatnot.
Yeah, it's interesting how it's kind of self-governed in a way. You guys started it off, and now all of a sudden it's like you just went and just spun it up. Now it's turning into this crazy thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's still stuff that needs to be done, but
there's something I had read on the website at some point that, and I don't know if they were just being facetious, but the idea of having more and more transmitters across, spread out to be able to get the signal farther out. I mean, is that something that could happen?
Yeah. Yes.
Is that how that would work?
I mean, yeah, it would. I mean, there's myself and Luke, who kind of not really associated anymore. I mean, he's the founder.
Luke is the true founder. He's the guy who actually had the first transmitter, basically.
Yeah, him and Solomon. Yeah. So
Solomon or Sullivan? Solomon. And is he still around?
No. He's around, but he doesn't. Did you see that there's someone like that they come in tonight at 10?
At 10? I'm on the schedule.
I know, that's what I looked at the schedule and I was like, oh.
I am on the schedule at 10, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
I confirmed. I mean, it's fine. I'll just tell
Who
them.
is it?
I don't even. I mean, it's a random person. Randos. But, I mean, maybe they're almost like.
There's a show at 11.
Hi. So, I'm like. like, you know.
Are you doing a show together, or you?
Oh no! I have a method, like after my show, what I do is I save it on Audacity, then I email it to myself, and I download it later and upload it to my stuff. Earlier today, there's something funky going on the internet, so I go, I'm going to go in later on tonight and send it to myself. So it was cool because I ended up meeting him, and I always wanted to know who the actual founder was, you know, who started this whole thing. And it's crazy to think, you know, so Luke did, and then now you're continuing the tradition. I mean, how big would you ultimately like to see this grow? Yeah, well, I mean, what would be like the dream? Because, I mean, there are a lot of talented people associated with this.
I mean, there's I feel like it's been realized, to be honest. I mean, everything that could possibly happen has happened, for the most part. I mean, it'd be nice to have, like, a better signal on top of the AM being, like, working a lot better. And it would be nice to, like, have a better setup in here.
Oh yeah, with like a table that won't fall over and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, just little things like that,
Yeah.
which is attainable. It's just a matter of like getting organized and having to just raise the money to do it. Or whatever.
Yeah.
It's just when you get involved with the politics of the behind the scenes here, there's like 3 or 4 people who have been here a long time, and they kind of like have the place in a stranglehold a little bit.
Oh, gotcha.
So it kind of sucks, but
Did they change the last part?
I think they did.
Do they still have meetings?
Yeah. I mean, I would highly recommend getting involved with the meetings and just, I mean, you can do anything you want. That's the thing, it's just a matter of people getting involved. There's like nobody, like back in the day when I first started, we were all involved, like all active and really into it. And, you know, building spots and moving it. And then, like I said, everyone died out. And everyone's kind of burnt out, like, you know.
Because my friends, they want to shoot like a pilot episode in here called Shock Jock. And so they're at first they're thinking of using the KCHUNG, you know, logos and whatnot, but during one of the emails, I forgot who said it, but they said, well, you know, you should probably change the logos. Because I know that, you know, everyone kind of values the privacy of the KCHUNG.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I feel like it's kind of silly to think, considering all like the things they've been a part of. It's like, you know, it's like once you've done like a museum show twice, major museums and stuff, it's kind of like you're in the public eye. Yeah, you're working with public. You know, when you're working with like city funded like programs, and it's a non-profit too, so it's like, you know, there's nothing to be.
Is it a 501c3?
Yeah.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
So it can get
Grants and stuff, yeah. You can do anything.
Okay, so I co-organize a film festival each year.
Yeah.
So I could actually combine with KCHUNG.
And you can use KCHUNG as your non-profit to get into a film festival if you wanted to.
Well, I organize a film festival.
Oh, okay.
So it'd be great now that I know that KCHUNG is a 501c3. Possibly this could be another one of our charities. And how cool would that be if KCHUNG broadcasted from the event? So it's that we help each other out.
I'll say right now, if you want to do that, I'm down to do that.
Because that would be great.
I know how to do all that shit. And
Really?
I would do it. Yeah. I would do it.
Oh my God, that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Because it's been my dream to want to get KCHUNG involved in this in some way, especially having KCHUNG broadcast live from there and stuff, and like just.
Let's do it.
I think it'd be awesome.
Let's totally do it.
Okay. What would be the easiest way for me to get a hold of you?
Here, just get me through my Instagram for now, and then tell me about doing my show.
Yeah.
And then we'll get our real.
Okay, I'll just take
yeah,
a
let's
photo
do it. Let's
here.
talk and let's get that going.
Dude, this would be so cool to do, to combine forces like this.
Yeah, let's do it.
Wow, it's been a pleasure meeting you, man. This is so great. I found the epicenter. I found the wizard behind the curtain. What's your name again?
Lev.
Pleasure to meet you. Wow, you guys.
Let's do it.
This is so cool. This is so great.
All right, man.
All right, take care. Isn't that crazy? Oh my God. This has been one of my dreams. Getting KCHUNG involved. Oh my God. Wow. Okay, I gotta call up Davey Chansky, tell him about this. Wowzers, I gotta say, I am blown away. I'm blown away. Look at that chance meeting. I could have decided not to go in there. How crazy is that? Astounding. So yeah, one of the original guys. Pretty much him and like 2 other guys started the whole thing. And it's so funny because so many people have asked me who started it, who was at the helm of it, how did it begin? And everybody gave me a vague answer. And I got the real deal. Wow. Wow. So incredible when you think about that. So incredible. Isn't it nuts? Like, just the idea that... It's so funny, we were just talking earlier today, the idea of just giving up surrender. One of the themes lately we've been talking about is answers to questions. But they answer you in the time that they want to. I've had this question in my brain, and here's the answer. And it happened in the most unexpected circumstance. Had I not kept digging and learning more information, as soon as he started telling me that he was one of the founder guys, I realized, okay, time to start podcasting. Time to start podcasting. Oh my God. Wow. If they're up for letting us work with KCHUNG, I mean, this has been my dream for the longest time. And I never really knew who to ask, where to truly look. This is a wonderful team up. It's a wonderful team up. Wow. Wow. I mean, the way to all this came together. KCHUNG Kapow. KCHUNG Kapow! Oh my God. Then imagine if we do team up with Bang Energy. Oh my God. That's one of the crazy things too, is that right next to AJ's place, well, LA Grip, there's a right next to LA Grip, there is a wall that I believe says Bang on it, I believe. A lot of like superhero kind of sounds, Batman type stuff. I gotta say, I'm so pleased with this new Mad magazine. I'm so pleased with... Now I got a subscription to these guys. I forgot how much I love these guys. They're so good. I hadn't read them in, I read them last year. I think my mom got me, when she came into town, she got me a Mad magazine. We put it in a stocking. Oh man, what a great magazine. I'm going to keep on these sponsors. I contacted Shure for microphones. Anchor, we'll see if they get back to me. Photochem, which helps with post-production services. Oh yeah, that lighting company too. Draco Broadcast. That's a local broadcast company. I know there's a 7-Eleven around here somewhere. I gotta get to here. 7-Eleven. Get me one of those nice, delicious coffees. The thing is, I have coffee at home. So why would I need this coffee? Why, Kurt? Think about it. Why? Well, there might be something in here that I don't know about. So we're gonna, since we're here, I was inspired. We're going to get a coffee, and you're going to be with me on the journey. Ideally, everyone can share. Oh, I see what's going on. Poor Jen. You hear Jen's tire back there? Hear that? Too many things for me to carry. I will talk to you when I get home. How about that?